Tails pulled himself out of the snow first, letting out a groan as he flipped over onto his rump and started to take his skis off. As he pulled the first one off, he heard Sonic said, "Hey, there you two are!" He glanced over to his left to see the Blue Hedgehog and Rainbow Dash sitting on the same pile of snow a short distance away. Their snowboard was partially buried in the snow. Tails smiled and quickly ditched the second ski before asking, "Get you lane, huh?" Sonic shrugged. "Yeah, sort of. Say, where'd Twilight go?" Tails glanced around quickly. A second later, the unicorn stuck her head out at the fox, taking a deep breath as he did. Sonic waved to her once she opened her eyes. "Hey, Twilight, you okay?" Twilight groaned. "How do I look?" Rainbow Dash snickered. "You look like you just landed face first in a pile of snow." Twilight sighed. "That's just how I feel." Tails stood up and walked over to her, helping her out of the snow and then helping her out of the skis. "Oh, thank you, Tails." The fox replied, "No problem. And hey, that was pretty good for your first time." Twilight saw him with a half smile, hardly thinking that, up until they were near the bomb, that her skiing had been anywhere near good. Under a moment, she and Tails walked over to Sonic and Rainbow Dash. Tails beginning, "So..." Sonic nodded. "Yeah, it is kind of quiet now, isn't it?" Rainbow spoke. "Well, let's do something about that. There's a cave over there we can check out." She pointed a hoof towards the wall at the bottom of the slope, and everyone turned to look. Sure enough, there was an opening in the wall that looked like it could lead somewhere. They all looked at each other for a moment, and then Sonic and Rainbow Dash stood up. All four of them climbed down the pile of snow and ran into the cave. As they stepped inside, everyone looked around in wonder. The interior of the cave looked like the inside of a shining diamond. All the walls, the ceiling, even the floor and the snow seemed to be made of sparkling ice. "Wow, look at this place," Rainbow Dash exclaimed. "It's really pretty," Tails nodded. "It certainly is, but who knows what could be living here," Twilight said. Sonic looked at her and replied, "You're right. Come on, we gotta keep moving." Everybody nodded and began making their way through the ice cave. As they were walking through the cave, Sonic remembered the conversation he had been having earlier and spoke up. "So, this Piggy Pie is the element of laughter, huh?" "Huh. What does that mean?" Twilight looked down curiously and said, "Means she's the embodiment of laughter, one of the elements of harmony. You don't know about the elements of harmony?" Tails answered for Sonic. "Nope. You don't have anything like that back home as far as any of us knows." Rainbow Dash grinned. "Well, aren't you two lucky then? The light here happens to be the element of magic, and I'm the element of loyalty. I never leave any of my friends or any pony or anything else I care about hanging." Sonic replied, "So you basically have unwavering loyalty, huh? What about the element of magic?" Twilight nervously answered, Well, I've always been gifted at magic. It's my special talent." She gestured back towards her flank as she said, "That's what my cutie mark represents." Tails said, "I was wondering about those marks. So they represent your special talents?" Rainbow Dash nodded. "Pretty much. They're basically an indicator of the one thing we like to do the most." Sonic asked, "Does every pony have a cutie mark?" Twilight replied, "Not right away. No foal has a cutie mark at birth. Cutie marks don't appear until a pony discovers what their special talent is. From what I've heard, ponies without their cutie marks are referred to as blank flanks." "Well, mockingly as little kids." Sonic nodded. Interesting. "Anyway, about these elements of harmony. Is it just you two and Pinkie Pie?" Rainbow spoke. "Nope, there's 6 elements in total. Owljack, who I mentioned earlier, is the element of honesty. Rarity, a white unicorn, has the knack for fashion, is the element of generosity. Fluttershy, one of my old Pegasus friends, is the element of kindness. Together we stop anything that could possibly threaten to question you." Twilight added, "I should mention we didn't learn that we were the elements of harmony until Princess Celestia, ruler of Equestria and my teacher, sent me to Ponyville on the day before the Summer Sun celebration. At the time, it had been 1,000 years since she had sealed Nightmare Moon, the changed form of her little sister, Princess Luna, in the moon, and unless it's foretold she would return. We all ended up going on a quest to find the elements of harmony to stop her, only to return her to normal when we became the elements of harmony and friends." Twilight asked, "So what, you weren't friends before?" Twilight looked up to the side and said, "Well, not entirely. Back when I lived in Carolot, I thought differently than I do now. Spent all my time studying and avoided other ponies because I thought there was no point in having friends. It took that venture to the Everfree Forest to realize I was wrong. Sonic spoke. Sounds like one of our friends. She used to be like that too. Twilight turned to him. Really? Sonic nodded. Sure. Where she comes from, she's a princess. As princess, she has a very important duty. Because of that duty and her abilities, she shut herself off from everybody to keep her to herself. That was before she met me and my friends. She's still a bit shy around others, but she's warmed up to the idea of having friends. So, it's not like you're the only one who thought along those lines, Twilight. Sometimes it takes an unusual event to make somebody realize things they could never have before. Yes, we all know. We also know that Blaze is my future wife. Hey, what about Applejack? No, Trix, you don't get it. Applejack is my girlfriend, is my possible girlfriend in this reality. When I'm running my bookstore in Mobius, Blaze is my future wife in that world. Trixie sees. So, if you were to go to, say, Exandria, would you have any possible dates there? No, Trixie, I don't. Because it seems like every single cute girl in Exandria that I have any desire for is taken. Jester, Yasha, Bo, Pike, Vex, and Keyleth are all taken. Well, Keyleth... Yes, I know about Keyleth! But you gotta understand, Trixie. I don't want to deal with a girl who probably already still has a broken heart, alright? I don't want to ruin that for her. Fine. Twilight smiled. You're right, Sonic. You're absolutely right. I wouldn't mind meeting your friends sometime if we get the chance. Teal said, well, see, once with the rest of our friends we were grabbed by that weird creature to get together. I'm sure we'll find her sooner or later. Come to think of it. She has purple fur, the same color as your coat. Hey. If we go by rules of that Sonic and the Krusty Girls fic, this means that, finally, we'll get a crossover and they'll actually have a lesbian relationship. Still hoping for that, are you? Hey, it'd be original. Every other time we've read a crossover fic that had a crossover ship, it's always been straight. This one's something freaking original for once. Rainbow laughed. I was thinking the same thing. Hey, maybe being purple has something to do with being distant from everybody. They all had a good laugh at that, as they continued walking. The four of them soon came to a stop when they found a sizable block of ice with snow on top of it, sitting in front of them. Wonder what this thing's doing here, Tails mused. It's just a block of ice, Tails. Probably does nothing other than sit here, Rainbow Dash tried. Sonic peered around the block and said, well, maybe we can use it for something. Twilight looked at him and asked, like what? Sonic pulled his head back and gestured towards the block, saying, everybody get on top. I have an idea. Intrigued, both Tails and Rainbow Dash flew out to the top of the block, while Twilight climbed up after them, all three of them sitting down. And then making sure every pony was sitting down, Sonic walked up behind the block and started pushing against it, causing it to move on the snow on the ground. Twilight peered over the side at him and asked, Sonic, what are you doing? Sonic calmly replied, just hang on, we're in for a ride! A second later, he stopped pushing and leapt up on top of the block, sitting down. Before anybody can ask, the block slowly started sliding down the slope. But Sonic and Rainbow Dash got excited as it slid down the slope, while Tails and Twilight made deadly sure they weren't going to fall off. The block continued to gain speed, running over penguiners and star pointers as it slid. The block eventually reached the bottom of the slope as it slowly slid to a stop, which took a bit of time due to the slippery snow underneath. Sonic quickly left out the block, exclaiming, Woohoo! Rainbow Dash flew off and flared next to him, saying, You said, Sonic, that was fun! Twilight poked her head over the side of the block and spoke. Well, it was fun, I'll say that, but what now? She pointed a hoof forward, saying, It's a dead end, what do we do now? Rainbow looked and saw what Twilight was talking about. The path forward was being blocked by what appeared to be a thick pillar. Huh. Guess you're right, Twilight. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer, she said. Sonic walked over to the pillar as Tails and Twilight let down, examining it as he stood in front of it. It does look pretty thick. Maybe... Let's not the base of the pillar across down. holding a hand in front of it. He called back to Tails and the two mares. I can feel a breeze coming in from under there. Tails, Twilight, and Rainbow came over, the fox asking, Really? There must mean there's a paid pass it, right? Sonic nodded. That's my guess. Rainbow said, No problem then. So he looked at Twilight and asked, Twilight, can you move this hunk of ice out of the way? Twilight examined the pillar herself before asking, Is it attached to the ceiling or is it just sitting here? Sonic shrugged. I don't know. Why? Twilight replied, If it's part of the ceiling, I'll have to break part of it to move it. It could be a problem. If I break off too much of what we can see, it could cause a cave-in. Tails waved towards Sonic, telling him to come over as he said, Hey Sonic, come here for a minute. The blue-head Sonic walked over, slipped in front of Tails, started, Leslie. He then started whispering the rest of Sonic. After a moment, the hedgehog leaned back and died. Good thinking, Tails. Rainbow asked, What is it? Tails looked over and explained, We don't need to move the pillar out of the way, so long as we can force our way through it. Twilight asked, As in, break it? Sonic nodded, Yeah, but if this works, we should be able to get through without you needing to waste your magic abilities on something like moving this hunk of ice. Twilight said, I don't think moving a big slab of ice can be considered simple. Sonic replied, I'm sure it is for a magically inclined unicorn like you, Twilight. Tails died. Yeah, I always saw you do levitation spells earlier, but if you've been studying for magic for years, you must know a variety of spells. Twilight looked away, blushing. Honestly, I don't know very many spells. Rainbow walked over, rubbed her mane while saying, Don't mind her. She's just being a little Miss Modest again. So he then looked back at Sonic and Tails and asked, So, what did you guys have in mind anyway? Sonic said, Well, it's been a while since the last time we did this. Just to be safe, you two might want to take cover behind that block. But Twilight and Rainbow Dash decided to heed the warning and quickly got behind the ice block, peering over the top to watch. Both Sonic and Tails walked over to the pillar. Tails stopping a short distance of it, with Sonic right behind him. After a moment, Tails turned around to face Sonic, and they stared at each other. They both raised their right hands and brought them together, a flash of light appearing when they clapped together. So they let them with joined hands, beginning to spin around as they came down. As soon as they touched the ground, they both shot forward, rolling right into the ice pillar, creating a sizable hole in the middle of it. Wow! A Sonic 4 Part 2 reference. Did not see that coming. Both Twilight and Rainbow Dash looked on Sonic as the duo's rolling combo for a moment. Then they both smiled when they realized that he must have made it outside or got deeper into the cave. Rainbow Dash flew up over the block and towards the hole in the ceiling. Hey, wait for us! Twilight galloped after the Rainbow Mane Pegasus, following her through the hole. After a few minutes of flying and galloping, Rainbow and Twilight found Twilight and Sonic and Tails standing near the mouth of the cave. Tails looking a little dizzy, and Rainbow landed near them. Twilight came to a stop next to her for a few seconds later. Man, that was an awesome combo back there. I'm seriously impressed, Rainbow exclaimed. Thanks, Rainbow. Well, we haven't done that trick in a while. My head's still spinning, Tails said. Sonic grinned sheepishly. Sorry about that, buddy. Tails smiled over to him. Don't worry about Sonic. Being dizzy from spinning is far better than being dizzy from slamming into a wall. Twilight said, I think Rainbow and I could both agree with you on that, Tails. She then glanced left to right and asked, So, where did we come out anyway? Sonic walked down in the mouth of the cave and looked to his left. From the looks of it, I see we came out near an ice field. He said. Tails, Twilight, and Rainbow Dash walked over to him and looked. They all looked at it all at what they saw. Especially Twilight and Rainbow. In the distance, they could see ice floes flowing through the water and glaciers lining the landscape. It was truly a sight to behold. You know, I read about how ice flows and glaciers before, but wow, they're really beautiful, Twilight exclaimed. Rainbow Dash grinned there. You're such an egghead, Twilight. But you're right, this is pretty awesome. Looking back at the view before us, he asked, We're not going to have to go out there, are we? Sonic gestured to the path in front of us and said, Well, we should probably see if there's anything else here before we consider going out there. Twilight looked at where he was pointing and saying, Yeah, that's a good idea, Sonic. Still, even if it is a straight path, it isn't going to take a while to search. Sonic held a hand to his chin and said, Yeah, I guess you're right, Twilight. So, he suddenly surprised the leopard unicorn when he, in swift motion, slipped her off her hooves and held her in his arms. Twilight gave a surprised yelp at the unexpected accident. He did grin. Let's step it up a bit. Twilight started, huh? Where are you? She was cut off in mid-sentence when Sonic suddenly took off, running down the path at high speed. The unicorn giving a surprised shout as he did. Tails started spinning his namesake as he called, Hey Sonic, wake up! He then took off flying after his friends, Rainbow Dash right behind him. Twilight could only watch with wide eyes and an open mouth as Sonic continued running, both Tails and Rainbow Dash following behind him. Her mouth refused to work as he ran through subtle loops made of ice, over icy bridges and through patches of snow. Eventually, she managed to regain both her voice and exclaimed, Sonic, stop! The blue hedgehog glanced down at her in alarm for a second, before planting his feet in the snow, sliding until he came to a stop on a relatively flat surface. He then quickly stared down at her rump, asking, What's the matter? Twilight just stared at her with the same expression on her face as Tails and Rainbow Dash caught up. Amazingly, her mane still retained straight, scholarly look. Rainbow spoke up, Twilight, you okay? A moment later, the lavender mare started, that was unbelievable. She looked at Sonic and asked, How do you run so fast? I can understand how Dash goes so fast while flying, but I saw him run down the side of that building. How do you do it? Sonic answered, Well, I've always been pretty speedy, even when I was little. But what you just witnessed us now is thanks to these. He pointed down to his red... Yes, we know. His red shoes. As he explained, the soles of my shoes are made of a special material that's designed to be pretty much immune to heat. With all the friction I create while I'm running, I generate a lot of heat. With these on, I don't have to worry about my feet or my shoes catching on fire. Twilight looked down for a moment before saying, That makes sense, actually. Everything I just saw completely fits with everything I studied. So those shoes are to you what Rainbow's wings are to her? Sonic shrugged. I guess you could say that. First time I tried out the first pair, I actually managed to do a sonic boom. Iron Dash flew over to him and said, I did a sonic boom when I was younger too. Except mine was a sonic rain boom. Tails asked, What's the difference between a sonic boom and a sonic rain boom? Rainbow turned to him and proudly said, I happen to leave a rainbow trail in my wake when I do a sonic rain boom. Tails asked, So the only difference is the trail left behind? Rainbow replied, No, it's loads different from a basic sonic boom. Tails asked, Hell, you only told me one thing that's different. Before Rainbow Dash could start arguing, Twilight looked to the side and noticed something. Hey, everybody, look! She exclaimed. Sonic looked in the direction she was looking. Tails and Rainbow turned their heads to look. They all saw an echidna with dreadlocks and spiky knuckles. An earth pony with a hat and her mane and tail tied up in a ponytail. A young Pegasus filly standing a short distance away. Knuckles! Sonic said. Applejack, it's Gulu! Rainbow Dash exclaimed. She then turned to Twilight and said, Good night, Twilight! Sonic patted the unicorn on the shoulder as Rainbow flew over to their frozen friends. Nodded to her when she looked down. Sonic then looked back at Tails and asked, Is the warp ring still working, Tails? The two-tailed fox fixed the ring and examined it for a minute. Then he said, I think I'll be able to get us back to Ponyville, but we're gonna have to find a way to recharge it sooner or later. Sonic nodded. Okay then, let's get him out here. Tails nodded and activated the ring, while Twilight stood up and followed Sonic. Once the ring was activated, Tails flew over and helped Sonic carry Knuckles over to the ring. Rainbow and Twilight followed behind them. Rainbow carrying Scootaloo in her hose, Twilight using her magic to carry Applejack over. All of them stepped through the ring with their friends, the ring following shortly afterwards. Seconds later, the four of them found themselves standing in front of a barn in Sweet Apple Acres. They watched as a white, sparkling wave began to creep over the entire farm, restoring the apple trees and crops to normal. After about a minute, the fences and buildings on the farm were restored to normal too. By this time, Sonic, Tails, Twilight, and Rainbow had moved from the frozen forms of Knuckles and Applejack and Scootaloo inside the barn. Four of them stood across from the frozen friends waiting. After a few seconds, the same wave crept up on the body of their petrified friends, restoring them to normal. Knuckles, upon his restoration, flexed his hands and leapt up with an uppercut, striking a pose while landing. Applejack, meanwhile, blinked and gave a toothy smile, giving the air a few bucks over her back legs, while Scootaloo examined and flapped her small wings. Applejack was the first one to notice every pony and spoke. Thank you kindly, y'all. How was my worry during the whole guzzle experience? I'm feeling much better now that I'm back with y'all. Scootaloo nodded. Yeah, thanks to you guys. I wasn't scared, but I prefer being in my body, thank you. Knuckles said, Same here. Life will help everyone. That's all I needed. Steve, you did a good job back there. Everybody silently nodded to each other as they spoke, Sonic crossing his arms and holding a thumbs up in Knuckles' direction. Before anything else, Spike suddenly came to a barn, running and carrying Pee-wee with Aloysius behind him, screaming. Everyone looked on in shock as he quickly shut the top of the bottom of the barn door, leaning his back against it, panting heavily while Pee-wee hopped onto one of his green spikes, and Aloysius flew over to Twilight. After her owl friend landed her back, the lavender unicorn quickly tried over to Spike and asked, Spike, what's wrong? Oh, no. I'm ending the chapter there. No!